Hello guys, now we are going to see the Soviet Championship games, and this is the first championship which held on Moscow 4 uh, from 4 to 24 October 1920. This was the first event of the 1920, and it was strange in every way, largely due to the chaotic state of the country resulting from the war, the Civil War and the Allied intervention. During this time it was not even known for sure who was dead and who was alive. Summons was sent forth throughout the land along the lines of military communication to bring together the best of what was left. So the first game, it was played between Nikolai Grigoriev as white and Alexander Alekhine as black. It's a Ruy Lopez game, and let's see the game. The game goes e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5 and knight ge7 by Alekhine. Alekhine's opening repertoire was unusually wide and he often adopted unusual variations, sometimes those condemned by theory, always bringing in original ideas. Now d4. This straightforward move does not pose any problems, and nowadays castles and g6 and c3 and bishop g7 and d4 is considered more promising. So Alekhine himself recommended knight c3 instead of d4, and after g6 and now d4 and bishop g7 and bishop to g5, h6 and bishop to e3, which also has its points, but white went straight d4, and after ed4 knight takes d4, now g6 and according to theory knight takes d4 and queen takes d4, and now knight to c6 and queen to d3 and bishop to c5 is good enough for equality. To meet bishop takes c6 and d takes c6, queen takes d8, king takes d8. Obviously such simplification did not appeal to Alekhine, who preferred a more complicated line. So he didn't take on d4, he went g6 and now bishop to g5. Here the harmonious way for developing is knight c3, then bishop g7 and bishop e3. Now black goes bishop g7 and c3. Here comes the concession for his pseudo-active bishop move. The knight loses access to the natural square at c3. Now h6, bishop h4 and castle shot, and knight takes d4. Alekhine always thought in concrete fashion. This exchange creates a target in the center and enables black seize the initiative. Now c takes d4, c6 and bishop c4. Here the bishop is on poor square where it enhances the strength of black's planned central break. However, there was no better moves as other retreats are met by the awkward reply of g5 and after bishop g3 then queen b6 is coming. So now g5 by black, now bishop g3 and d5 now, Here, however, the tempting queen b6 would fail to. However, the queen b6 will fail to bishop to d6, and after bishop to d6 there will be rook to e8, and there is queen to f3. So that's why queen b6 is a mistake. Now queen d5 and e d5, knight takes d5, bishop e5, and this is the only move because knight b6 was threatened, and now bishop e6 and knight to d2. Apparently white did not yet sense the danger, or else he would have preferred the exchanges. He would have gone bishop takes g7, king takes g7, and bishop takes d5, bishop takes d5, then knight to c3, with good chances of neutralizing the enemy's pressure. But he went knight d2 and then f6, now bishop g3, now queen b6. A fresh reminder about the tender spots at b2 and d4. Now rook e1, rook fe8, now knight to e4. Once again too optimistic. The threats of knight d6 and knight c5 look strong, but strange as it may seem, the move is a definite mistake, which black duly demonstrate. White had to try defensive moves like knight to b3, now f5 by black. This tricky counter stroke had probably been foreseen by Alekhine some moves ago. Play now enters forcing lines with his pieces developing destructive energy. Now knight to c5, and if at all knight to d6, then there is f4, and after knight takes e8 and rook takes e8, here white has to lose material. I think black is having a good compensation. His bishop pair are too powerful. So after knight c5 and now bishop to f7, now bishop d6, there is no better move because f4 is threatened. Now queen takes b2, bishop takes d5, bishop takes d5 and bishop takes d5. Now rook b1. White's last chance is to go for active piece play, but Alekhine had foreseen this. Now queen takes d4. It is instructive to see that black has worked upon both weak pawns. Now rook takes b7. At last white seems to have gained some counterplay, but the following blow shatters all illusions. Now queen g4. A tactical stroke typical of Alekhine, transferring play from one side of the board to another with the mating threats. Now f3, If at all g3 is played, then queen to h3 is coming, and after rook takes e8 check, rook takes e8, queen to f1, then there is a rook to e1. So g3 will be a blunder. If at all bishop to g3, then queen takes, rook takes, and there is f4. So white played f3 here, and bishop d4 check, king h1, if at all this, then this is coming, and knight to d3, rook takes is coming, king takes, and bishop c3 check, king f1, and queen to d4 is coming. Here this is recommended, but anyways it is losing, so that's why king went to h1, and now bishop takes f3, and white resigned here because of after rook takes e8, rook takes e8. Now g takes f3 is met by rook e1 check, and queen takes e1, queen takes f3 mate. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the game. I'll be meeting you in the next second game, second championship, which took place in Petrograd from 8 to 24 July. I'll be looking at that. Thank you all.